Hello, welcome to this video tutorial for DT Register 2.7 Field Management. In this video, we'll be looking at the selection type of fields. There have been a couple other videos that you have possibly already watched on field management as far as how to utilize them, how to place them within your events, and also input fields. Here we'll be looking at the selection fields like drop down, checkboxes, radio button, so forth. These are the field types that really give some incredible control and uh, power to DT Register to a level that you're not going to find in any other solution. Um, this tutorial is based on version 2.7.0 and functionality that's available at this time. Um, Let's go ahead and jump in. You can see I'm already in the back-end field management, which I can get to from components, DT register, fields. And so you can see here I got all some different fields that already exist. There are a couple selection fields that created on install, like the title, state, and country are all drop-down fields that include um, selection already. But we're going to go ahead and create some more. Let's go ahead and go to new. And most of the functionality here has already been explained in the input fields tutorial, so I don't want to repeat a lot of things. But I'm going to switch this here to drop down, and we'll start with that. And you can see the field options change based on what you select here for the field type. So we'll take the name as the database name. So let's just call it new drop down. This is not displayed anywhere. This is the unique name that exists in the database. Um, Over here, make sure you are aware of the tooltips. There are helpful tooltips. I'll make sure you set things up correctly. The email tag, this is a unique tag to specify this field within your emails. So let's just call it new drop down. I don't need to put the brackets on the side. Leave the brackets off, although they're using the email. Do not put them here. Size. Size is something to make note of for a drop-down field. It does work differently in drop-downs than other field types. The size is actual size in pixels. So instead of characters, it's a pixel. So I'm going to say in this case, let's just say 200. The label. Select your flavor. We're going to make a flavor choice. Conditional fields. This is where you can have the field display based upon the user selection of another selection field. That's covered in a separate video, so we're not going to get into that right here. Values, you need to input your values for the drop-down, and you separate them with the pipe character as stated below this input box. So I'm going to type here strawberry. There's a separator, and chocolate, vanilla, and banana. How about that? All right, so we got 4 flavors to choose from. Selection limits. On the spacers here, do not put space on either side of these pipe characters, and you do not need to put one at the beginning or at the end. So based on those, DT Register is going to be able to read and see that you have 4 options here. Selection limits, this is very important. This is not only a powerful feature, but one that will cause you some issue if you don't set it up correctly. You have to provide a limit for each value in your selection. So here we have 4 values to pick from, so we have to have 4 limits. Even if you don't have a limit, you have to provide one, just say it's unlimited, which is done with a 0. The limit basically works like a capacity on each value. So say in this case we're selling ice cream as part of the event registration, and we want people to choose what flavor they want, but we only have so many of each one. So I could say, okay, we have 20 cases of strawberry, We have 30 chocolate and 30 vanilla, but we only have 15 banana. So that's how you'd put in the limit, and what that'll do, that'll make sure nobody picks more of any particular value than what you have available. This could work well for seat selections. Maybe you're given a choice of different workshops or sessions as part of a conference, and you can only have so many people in a room. So you can use it in that way. If you have an unlimited number, you could just put zero. Zero would be unlimited. So, but even if it is unlimited, you have to provide a a selection limit for each value. If you don't, you're going to have issues. Selected value. This is the item that will be selected by default. This is not required. You can leave this blank. But if you do want one by default, for example, say I want vanilla to be the default option, I could type vanilla right here. You do have to type it exactly as it's seen above. So we'll type that in, fee field. If I check this box, then I get access to this next line, which means I can provide fees that are assigned to each one of these. So here I'm selling my ice cream for the event. I'm going to say, the ice cream is an extra $5. And again, I provide a fee for each value. Now let's say the banana is a special flavor, so that one is $7.50. Um, so now what this means, if somebody picks strawberry, it's going to add $5 to their cost. Chocolate $5, vanilla $5, banana $7.50. This can also be a negative value. Maybe you have a lot of vanilla, you want to promote that. So I'm going to say -2. That'll mean they'll get a $2 discount if they happen to choose vanilla. So you can do plus or minus. You don't need a plus sign. You either just put the number or a minus sign if it is a negative value. And then below that you have fee type. So it's an amount or a percentage. So if it's left on the default amount setting, then that means this is $7.50. I change it to percentage, and now it's 7.5%. That percent will be added onto the base price of your registration. Then of course you do have ability to structure your fee ordering within the event, so you can customize that further if needed. Description is your tooltip that will show on the front end. If you type something here, there will be a tooltip to give maybe some instruction to the user. Publish, yes or no. The change fee, again, these things are described in the other video, but real quick, change fee will say whether or not changes made to this particular field, if they will incur a change fee. If the user makes a change to it in the front end user panel, and that event has a change fee, then does this field incur the change fee or not? Hidden, that makes it an admin only field. If you set this to yes, it won't be seen to the user. It'll only be seen on the back end. Listing options, again, the back end members list. If you want this field to show up when you view a list of all the group members for a group registration in the back end, if you want this field to show up in that display, you can check this box. The front end attendees list, you can check this box if you want this field to be included there so other people can see what flavor somebody chose. Then you have your default settings. You can mark all events if you want to add this field to all of your events that are currently open. The show option, if you want it to be set as default, whenever it's used in a default choice, if you want it to be used at all, or individual, group registration, or for both. Required, yes or no, and then a group registration for each member, billing only, or member and billing. So let's go ahead and create this field. All right, so now we have our new drop down, and I'm going to go ahead, I'll just leave it how it is. Let's go ahead and open it and show you here. If I happen to change this to another selection option, which would be a checkbox, you're going to find for the most part this is the same. You have the same setup for your values and selection limits. selected value. Now in a checkbox, that's the only selection value that allows you to pick more than one item. And the drop down on the radio button, you can only pick one thing. Checkbox, you could check multiple boxes. So if I did want to have more than one item selected by default, I could do that. So I could do it like that, and then vanilla and chocolate would automatically be checked. I'm going to leave that for now. Fee structure works the same way in a checkbox. All the rest of this is the same. The only difference is you have new lines, yes or no. New lines, basically it's just a display of your checkboxes. If you leave it on no, then each item will be sat next to each other horizontally, and if it's long enough it'll wrap onto additional lines. But if you want each one of your checkbox options to start on a new line, then you would hit this and they'll be displayed vertically instead of horizontally. Now if I go back up here and I change this to radio button, you'll find everything is exactly the same as checkbox, including the new lines option. The only thing that's different between radio box or radio button and checkbox is radio button only gives you the ability to pick one thing. Radio button, if you don't know, looks like this right here. Like what you see on these yes or no options. That's a radio button. You can only pick one or the other. Checkbox, you can pick multiple items. Okay, so that's the difference there. So I'll just leave this. I'm gonna make this stay as a checkbox, and that is those are all your selection field types. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and then we'll just take a quick peek at it on the front end. Okay, we're not it's not enabled here for the event. Turn it on real quick. All right, here we go. Now we got the select your flavor is showing up on the form, and I got my check boxes so I can pick whatever I want to check. And you can see up here the total registration cost is a dynamic field. So based upon my selections of fields, that price will change. And then once I get to the confirmation page, it's going to display a breakdown if I have enabled that in the configuration and show each fee that's been added into my form and how much it's added or taken away. Anyway, so that's how you do your selection fields. Uh, your selection fields give you quite a bit of control as far as selling additional items, selling books, selling t-shirts, giving options for you're registering as a member, a non-member, like you see here, adult or student. All those type of variations give you price changes. Then if you move on to the conditional fields video, you can see how you can take this even further with dynamic field display. I hope that is helpful to you. If you have any questions or need additional help, you can contact us in the forum or on a support ticket. Thank you very much.